Welcome to the Recovery Report. It's Newlin Ace. I got a special guest, my man Pete Oreo from Oreo and Sons Contracting. Been a close friend of mine for about 30 years, you know what I'm saying? We went through this addiction thing together. Even now, like every time I'm going through something, I can depend on my man to, you know what I'm saying, pick me up and shit. Go ahead, man. Introduce yourself, Pete. You already know.
What's up? My name's Pete. I like to say I'm an addict, so I'm in recovery. I'm known Ace at least 20 something years now. You know, there's about 1,000,001 stories that I could tell between me and him, and just going back. But I give you what I got so freely given to me. And, you know, it started out when I was a kid. My mom had left me when I was 3 months old.
Right.
My grandparents took me in,
Yeah.
and so I flourished a little bit. By eighth grade, I was kicked out of Catholic school, and that's how I ended up in Academy
Yeah, that's
Park
when
with
you came over
everybody.
there with us to the park. Facts.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think because I look back and I remember in ninth grade getting high in the bathroom.
Yeah, you were the first
Like
motherfucker I smoked weed with.
it's it's very, it's been a very long road, you know. So, needless to say, I graduated through things very fast. By the time I was 13, I was addicted to heroin and I was in Kensington.
Yeah.
Um, you know, my life had took wild turns. I was in CFCF for a year. I did a couple years in the penitentiary, a lot
Yeah.
of Delaware County trips, Lima trips. When I was 16, I did 3 years when I was
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
And so I say all that to say this. I had gotten to a point, where I was in Delaware County Prison for the probably 50th time. And I
Right.
remember I called home and I called my grandfather. Now, this man raised me. That was my dad. My
Yeah.
grandmom passed away before she got to see this. So, one day I'll be able to tell her, but right now I can't. So, um, I called home and I heard him answer the phone. And I heard it go, "You have a collect call from," and he hung up.
Yeah.
And I put the phone down and I had went back to my cell. And at the time, a good friend of mine was my cellmate, and I
Right.
started crying, and I said, "I can't do it no more.
Right.
Like, it's over." And he was like, "What do you mean?" Because even in there, we would
Yeah.
use people medication.
Fucking snorting wellies and
Somebody
all that
get
shit. I
weed,
already
yeah,
know, man.
whatever we could get our hands on. And his thing was, "Listen, we're not doing dope." And I go, "Right, because we can't get that."
Right.
I said, "It ain't but a matter of time before I put that back in my body."
Yeah.
So as I was telling you beforehand, while I was in that cell, I had wrote something and put it on my wall in there, and it said, "Change you must or die you will."
Yeah.
So I went over to that prep class, the lady, and I cried for like an hour, and she was like, "I think you're gonna be all right." So the craziest part about it is, I came home
Yeah.
clean. My PO loved me now, because I could pee in the cup without
Yeah.
dodging them.
That's when they love you the most.
Yeah,
That's
right.
when they love you the most.
Well, listen, it gets wilder.
Yeah.
I come home, I have 3 months on the street, and they say, "Listen, you got to go upstate for 2 years."
Yeah.
So I had to literally, I had 15 days to get my affairs in order and take myself to go to the penitentiary for 2 years,
Yeah.
2 to 4 years. And my PO had wrote a letter. He didn't think I had to go. My boss showed up and was like, "Yo, I don't think he needs that." And they were like, "Look, his point system is just,
Yeah.
it's outrageous. Like, he should have been there a long time
Oh, you
ago."
talking about your gravity score, huh?
Yeah. Yep. So what had happened was, I had turned myself in. So my PO had become such an advocate for me. My dad ended up having him. So he knew while I was there, my dad would send me money every week, like $40, because you can maintain on a little up there.
Yeah.
And my dad kept failing urine after urine. And like the fourth time, he looked at my dad and he goes, "Yo, if it wasn't for your son, I'd have locked you up already."
Yeah.
And so I did my thing, and I did my 2 years in Rockview. It was a blessing, because I got to learn a lot about my faith.
Yeah.
I learned to read and write in Arabic and all, and it was It was good for me, and I came home, and you know, in recovery for me,
Yeah.
the biggest thing that I noticed that I never had growing up was accountability.
Right.
Like I never held myself to a standard. You know, I compromised my morals, my values, whatever. It's like I won't do that today, but tomorrow I might rob
Yeah.
you.
Like,
You know what I mean? Like tomorrow I might
you
steal
never know what you
my
gonna do.
grandfather's checkbook. I did that.
Yeah.
And you know, so now I come home, you know, I'm not working with much. My old boss gave me my job back at the time, and I was grateful. So then I moved over into the roofing world because I needed to make a little more money. And, you know, the rest of it's kind of like history. You know, I busted my ass for a year at one company, went to another company, became his foreman
Right.
for 4 years. And then I opened up my own company. So now we're 10 years in and we're not slowing down.
Yeah, and that's why I asked you to come on the show, dog, because like I can remember coming from upstate, you know what I'm saying? You know, I know how close me and you are, you know what I'm saying? You're my brother, so it was like you didn't hesitate to give me a job and shit like that. Like you didn't hesitate to try to help me and school me to, you know what I'm saying, this recovery thing and all that shit. Even now, bro, you know what I'm saying, like the struggle is so crazy and it's so hard that I find myself picking up my phone and calling you now and just like, yo, this, you know what I'm saying, this is what's going on with me. I be trying to tell people the only way you're gonna get rid of this situation, this addiction, is if you do it for yourself. I'm just like, how did you buckle down and find that discipline in you, bro? Because you started from that nut ass pickup truck to what you got now, and I remember everything. Now you got a whole company. You know what I'm saying? You're in a whole different tax bracket, and like you made it. You're a success story. No matter what it is, motherfuckers will try to put they try to put a label on something on what success means. Meanwhile, they ain't doing shit or never have accomplished anything. So that's why I take this shit seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you don't even got no fucking platform. How you going? How can you reach people if you ain't got no platform? Like I'm not perfect, bro. I struggle. Like I slip up too. You know what I'm saying? It
Well,
happens.
listen, it's not about
Yeah, you got
the
to keep getting
slip
up.
up because I'll tell you what, you make 1,000,001 mistakes
Real
in
shit.
life. It's not failure until you quit. So as for many times as I fell down, I bumped my head, even in business, even in friendships,
Right.
relationships. You know what I mean? I made some bad decisions along the
Yeah.
way, but that's what they are. They're a learning lesson for me.
Yeah.
And a long time ago, see, I find a lot of solace in music, and you're a music dude. So, um, I've the music I used to listen to, I listen to now, but I find a different message in it. You know what I mean? Like when I hear at the end of when Jay-Z says there's only one rule, I
I
will
will not
not
lose.
lose.
Yeah.
And I live by that. I have quotes written on me from music now
Yeah.
because you will not tell me what I can and can't do. I will not accept no more.
Me neither, bro. Fuck me neither. Like
So
you gotta have that mindset though, because people will try to make you do what's good for them, or they'll use you to when they're going through something and their emotions are involved and they going through something, they want to come back, and it's like, and that's just relationships, friendships, that's with anything. Like
absolutely.
there's no more spinning the block with me, there's no more none of that, because at the end of the day, people only talk to me when I started doing the show. Like everybody left. Nobody, my phone wasn't ringing, motherfuckers wasn't.
Right now, everybody wants to come on your
Yeah, suck my
podcast.
dick. You ain't
So
even got an
listen,
addiction. What you mean can you come on my show? You know what I'm saying?
here's
Fuck
the
no.
thing that I learned with people.
Yeah,
People will use what they can,
yeah.
and they'll burn it out until they
I
don't.
don't give a fuck.
Now, my thing for me is I will extend my hand to an extent,
Right.
but once I feel like you're trying to play me or take advantage of me, you got to go.
Gotta go.
Because you're not ruining my peace.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, everybody's success is different. So, you know, some people measure success by how many O's are in the bank account.
And they
Some
never had
people,
O's in their bank account though.
listen, even the ones that do, if that's how you measure it, that's fine. But for me, like even with my business, 90% of the customers, I could go eat Thanksgiving dinner at their house, bro. Like this is personal with me. Everything I do is personal. I talk to people from Lower Marion down to Chester. I'll stand outside if we're doing the roof in Chester and bust it up with everybody. And I'll talk to a doctor that makes $1.5 million a year.
Yeah.
It's just, you know,
Because now you're able to get into them rooms you couldn't get in before. You feel me? You speak the same language as these people you're trying to do estimates and all that shit with. It's all about
well,
growing.
I think as long as you or me or anyone else stays who they are,
Right.
you will ultimately attract what you put out there. So
Right.
if you don't look, it's great to do certain things. Money makes certain things easier. Like
Yeah.
you take certain trips, you can go certain places. But at the end of the day, money isn't the most important thing. Like the way my son looks at me, bro,
Yeah.
like that makes me cry.
Yeah.
Like I cry for that kid.
Yeah.
And you know, I had just put it up there the other day about him waking up and calling me about a tattoo.
Yeah.
So I go, listen, so this is great. So I go, all right. I said, what's your idea? He said, I don't want to bother you. I said, it's cool. What's up?
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, is this anime show that he watches? He said, well, they get this mark on them after they fight demons in the dark world.
Yeah.
And then they start fighting them in the light world.
Yeah.
They get this mark when they become great. And I said, that's cool. Where are you going to get it? He's like, it's not for me. It's for you. This 14-year-old boy that never had to see his dad messed up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I feel you, bro.
listen,
I
I'd
feel that
rather
shit.
have that than $1 million in the bank, because when all the cards crumble and you know, my relationship with him, my relationship with you, my relationships are far more important than you know, any dollar amount. A friend of mine said that. He said, you know, how do you build and maintain relationships? Because I've never met somebody like you that builds and maintains relationships for, it's been 10 years now, and I do work for the same people. 10 years over. And like, listen, my price had to go up, and they understood because they don't want to call no one else.
That's what I was about to ask you. So, like, even with that, like, that's a lot of money to be handling. You know what I'm saying? And to be a recovering addict. How do you deal with that? Do that fuck with you sometimes? Like, you got all this money, you about to make a bank drop, like, and they like, you know what I'm saying? You got 50 racks on you right there. Like, you know, I know that shit is hard, my nigga. They can say what they want. That's hard.
Listen, it could be. You want to know what's hard?
What's up?
I remember one time, the biggest job I did, and the dude was giving me a $90,000 check, and I literally felt like I was going in front of the parole board. Like, bro, I had I had, my mouth was dry. I'm doing this huge factory in Delaware, and I'm like, bro, how are we gonna get this done? But listen, I got it done. I did it. I was down there at night with spotlights with Los and a couple dudes rolling it out. And you know, all like, when I decided to get clean, I had enough. Like there's no change in my mind. Like, I hate drugs. Yo, it destroys people's families, your brother, your sister, your mother.
Body,
like, listen, man, look, I don't have time for that. I got a son to raise. I got a world to conquer, and I got some money to make along the way. So everything else is irrelevant. Like, that doesn't excite me no more. Like, you know, when you first get in recovery, you see somebody on, you're like, damn, man, I remember that. And that, but I remember what it was like after that. I remember walking up Lehigh Avenue in 20-degree weather in a Nike windbreaker trying to cop at 1 a.m. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't never want to go back.
Yeah, I don't forget my bad times, because, you know, as an addict, we're good at selling ourselves a brick of shit wrapped in gold. We just keep selling it to ourselves, and we open up and we're like, oh shit, a brick of shit again? Like, yo, come on.
I ain't never heard that shit neither.
Yo, how many, listen, my old sponsor told me that. He said, listen, first off, this is the first thing he told me. He said, listen, there's only one thing you got to change. So when I started getting in recovery, I said, cool, one thing. And he's like, yeah. He's like, everything. I said, you motherfucker.
Yeah, they kill you with them little one-liners. And oh, man.
But listen, it's true. You know, and it's easy to do, but we complicate it. We're fucked up. So we overanalyze it. You know, you see the situation I'm going through right now, you know, in my life. You know, for some odd reason, people like us seek pain. we seek that chaos.
I
We
love that
seek
shit.
because that's the problem. We've become so adapted to living in that chaos that when peace finds us, we call ourselves
Oh, you
bored.
just don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, I'm cool with being bored, bro, because like being outside is trouble, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Being
Yeah.
outside now. I just turned 44 last Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm almost 50. It's like, yo, being outside for what?
Yeah, that's over.
I went to watch the fight the other night, and I'm like, damn, I had a good time on myself, but it was still like, it's just like I'd rather be in the crib. You know what I'm saying?
And when you look around, you're like, yo, all these 20-year-olds and I'm like, bro, I don't belong here.
Yeah, nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I did, early on in recovery, I went to, strip clubs and all that shit. I did all that. Because I didn't do none of that because I was messed up for so long.
Yeah.
So, and I was lucky that I had a bunch of people that were with me in recovery. So it wasn't really a problem. You know what I mean? But I look at it like this. What was cool in my 20s wasn't cool in my 30s. What's cool in my 30s ain't cool in my 40s because I just turned 44 in March.
Yeah.
So, I have no business doing certain things. And I live my life this way. Like, if my son can't come or can't know where I'm going, I have no business doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, I'm responsible for his life.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not old enough to fend for himself, and that's very important to me.
Right.
So, and I think with my mom leaving me and me and my dad using together, I think that
I never knew that. I never knew your dad used. That's the crazy thing.
yeah, well, he didn't start using until he got older. That's the craziest part about
that
it.
was my man.
And I just pushed myself to be so in tune to be such a good parent. Do you know what I mean? Like, yo, I'll break my back day in and day out. We just had this conversation outside, and that's my whole thing. Women are another topic, but that's another thing. I struggle with women. My kid's mom, it's a
Bro, I don't
lot.
even want to talk about that shit right now. Fuck them bitches. Seriously.
Like, nah, it's
that
not.
bullshit.
It's
Nah,
not that. But listen, you know what it is.
I got to get me right now, bro.
We have.
Seriously.
Well,
You
that's
got to,
another
dog.
thing.
You can't I like literally. You can't do both at the same time.
Not at all.
As bad as I
Not
want
at
to.
all. Well, listen, that's
Cool.
why they tell you wait a year at least.
I ain't
to
got to
even
wait a
think
year
about
because
a relationship.
but like
Yeah, well, because what happens is
whatever's
whatever
gonna
is
happen. Because I look at it, Pete. Whatever's gonna happen, then it's just gonna happen now. So like, you might. I don't want to waste time.
well, not only that, but listen, you start when you introduce someone else, like a business or anything. It could be a business, a relationship. You lose focus of you. Because you're so hell bent on making sure this person
Ain't running
is who you
around
want to
or
be.
yeah.
And listen, I don't have time for that.
None of that.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't have time for that. I wish people the best of luck. I love you all. You're part of God's creation. I don't hate people. I hate actions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I learned a lot. And over these years, I just refuse to allow someone to disrupt what I'm after. I wake up every day and I think, let's get it. Like, whether my legs are hurting, whether my back is hurting, whether I'm sick.
By any means, you gotta
like,
go out
let's
there and
go get it. Like, I'm going to get it today. And every day is not a good day, but every day is a great day waking up because, I wasn't supposed to be here.
Shit, me either, bro.
A lot of people said I'd be dead by 21. I thought I'd be dead by 21. I tried to take my life twice. I told my son that the other day. I'm gonna tell you this real quick. We're riding to the mall, and a song came on, and it's about suicide. It's from Linkin Park, and I said, "Listen," I turned it down because he's 14 now, and I worry about people and bullies and shit like that. So I go, "Listen, I want you to understand something. Dad tried to kill himself twice," and he just looked at me, and I go, "And what I'm telling you is, no matter how low it goes." It will always get better. God holds you. I'm a believer.
I know.
So
Me too, though. I believe in that. I believe that, like, it always gets better. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I be telling people. They be like, yo, I see you going through what you be going through. Like, yeah, but it's in me. I got to do it. Like, can't nobody else do it for me. I believe in God, bro. Like, one thing about me is I got a firm belief in God, a higher power. I don't believe in no fucking dog or cat, chicken.
Right,
yeah.
None of the bullshit.
So I'm not going to sit up here and act like I don't. But what I do know is that I can't be making a bunch of prayers and not acting in harmony with them Jones. You hear me?
Very
you can't
true.
be praying praying for peace, but you causing turmoil in everybody else's life.
Very true.
Asking God for forgiveness, but you ain't forgiving no. Yo, I literally made peace with everybody in my life. Listen, is that how you want to be? You be like that. That's how you want to play with me. Play with me like that. Cool. I mean, I don't care.
You ever notice that your prayers get different?
Yeah,
Like
as you get,
like as
yeah.
you get older,
Fuck out.
and you stop messing around with certain stuff, your prayers get different. Like
Facts.
I told somebody the other day in a meeting, I go, listen, I don't pray for certain things anymore. Like I don't pray like, let me get this car. Let me get. I say, listen, put me in
Hit the
position.
lottery and shit.
You want to know my prayer is?
What up?
Put me in position.
Right.
That's all. Put me in position. I got it. I'll continue to work. I'll continue to grind. I'll do this and do that. Whatever, whether it's a podcast, whatever. It doesn't matter what I do,
Right.
but I will continue to do it. Just put me in a position. And like you said, you can have faith, but it also says to tie your camel.
Right.
Like you got to put work in. Like we put work in ourselves. So
Yeah.
I figured out early on what I was made of and what I really wanted to do, and it wasn't, I'm not saying as far as like roofing, I'm saying in general, I know that everything that I have gone through, and I could give you a million war stories just on the area where we're at, like, but everything I had gone through needed to mold me into helping people. You saw what that dude sent me on the message. Like, yo, this dude remembers me from 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that
Nah,
means
I
a
feel
lot
you,
to
bro.
me, and go, yo, you changed my life. Like, yo, listen, you want to talk about success?
Yeah.
That's success, bro.
And my whole thing with that success shit, bro, I really just, I mean, maybe it's, I used to do music and shit, so maybe it's from that, just feeling something, you know what I'm saying, something unfulfilled. Like it's just something still there, the part of me that just want to, you know what I'm saying, succeed without being in my own way. I don't separate these two things right here. Podcasting to me is just like rapping, so I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna make it work for me
It's
regardless.
media.
It's just
It's
just
media.
another way to entertain people. But for me, I'm giving you my life. I'm telling you, and and the guests that I bring on, we sharing our lives with you. You know what I'm saying? This shit ain't easy to talk about.
No.
This shit is not easy to talk. I don't like talking about my character defects. I don't like talking about my fuck ups, my past. Nobody wants to dwell on the past, but for some strange reason, I keep going back to it. But I think that as I've been growing older, bro, I really don't care. I don't care about my past. I'm just mad at myself for letting it happen. And
Yeah,
it
but you
sounds
got to
crazy.
let that go,
I know,
because
dog.
listen, worrying about your past is
Yeah.
literally sitting there, and it's like you drinking poison and hoping someone else gets hurt by
Right.
it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had this conversation the other night with my kid's mom. Listen, whatever happened, we can't rewind
Yeah,
it.
you can't cut a motherfucker that
Look,
ain't bleed on you.
yeah, it is what it
Yeah,
is.
I said it wrong.
You know,
Bleed on a motherfucker that ain't touch you.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it is what it is, and either you're gonna let it make you or let it break you. Like, I will not allow. Listen, my past is everything to me. I have a lot of shit. I told my son that too. I said the only thing I ever regret was my mom not seeing me get clean.
I'm glad my mom wasn't alive to see me go through none of this shit. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm saying?
mean, I told my grandmama I wish she died. And then it happened, and she didn't get to see this version of Pete.
Yeah.
And while my grandfather's like, she knows, and me and my family are really close, and they were like, she knows. I'm like, yeah, but it's not the same. Do you know what I mean? So that's
Yeah, I
that's
don't
the
really get in
one
all
thing
that.
that
They be like, just talk to her. Like, bro, I don't get in all that. She can't hear me. She's dead. And so like that don't work for me. Like, oh, you should nah.
well, I just ask God
Yeah,
to
I just
relay the message, man,
I be
because
asking.
obviously I ain't that good.
Nah, because
I'm not
nah.
that
Listen,
good.
nigga. When I pray, I just pray like I'm talking to my homie. That's
As
why
you
I don't do
should.
the serenity prayer and all that. And the only reason why I don't, because it's in the Bible that you're not supposed to do a recited prayer. You're supposed to pray from the heart. So when I do pray for my addiction, I'm praying from the heart. Like, yo, I'm really out here, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, I'm not gonna be sitting up here talking in a way that I don't talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel good. It's easier for me to pray for other people now too. Even if they wrong me or whatever, bro, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna pray for you. Because I'm gonna still catch my blessings.
You want to make somebody real mad? You say, I'll pray for you.
Yeah,
Yo,
like fuck out of here, bro. Like,
here's the thing, and this is if you hold a grudge and you allow things to sit on your heart for so long, it will consume you. You're gonna miss everything that's going on
Trying to
in
focus
front of
on
you
that.
right now.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I got right now, I got today. There is no tomorrow. I got today. So I can't see myself walking around hating a bunch of people,
They ain't do shit to
right?
me any fucking way. Like,
Or just, bad mouth me. It still happens. Even with almost 19 years clean, they
yeah.
still do it.
But
And it's
they never
okay.
gonna do it to your face. That's why I don't get upset because like, you say what the fuck you want with them nut ass niggas. You not gonna say it to me though. I don't
Right. And
care.
listen, that's fine. Even if they did, listen, I ain't got time for you. You
Yeah,
just want me
like
to lose what I got, and that's cool. So I'm gonna stay in my lane. I stay away from a lot of people. Um, I'm a homebody as it
yeah.
is, but I'm more
And I peeped
interested in
that. I
helping
peeped that.
people
Like you comfortable with that shit. You know what I'm saying? You comfortable being.
at
I think
home.
yeah. Like nobody want to be in the streets. I don't want to be in the streets, dog. I want to be somewhere winning. Like I really do. Like nobody wants to. If you was in that type of shit, nobody wants to go running back to that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how if you don't focus on what's really bothering you, you're never gonna get well. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
You're never gonna get better. I've been trying to see my daughter now. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. I can't do nothing with this girl. But it's not my fault no more now. You called the shot. You made shit what it is. So like, I can't use that as an excuse to get high. I gotta deal with whatever she type time she on. But bro, like I gotta start thinking, you know what I'm saying, before I do or say anything, because everything I do is fucking they ostracize it anyway. Like put me under a microscope. So I try to be a better person, dog. You know what I'm saying? I really try to. I wake up, you know what I'm saying? I say hello to everybody in my front, bro. Like because like waking up mad for what? Even if they
Listen,
mad at me, I still be like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like fuck,
exactly. Because you don't need that sitting
I don't
on
need
you.
that energy on me, bro.
Well, here's another thing, and I told my son this. I told him a little while ago. I said, if you hold yourself accountable, the
Right.
world won't have to.
Facts.
And it's tough day in and day out to look yourself in the mirror. Bro, I used to shave.
Some days better than others, dog.
I
Real
would
shit.
shave in the mirror and I wouldn't look in my own eyes when I was using. Like it was that bad. Like I was just existing at that point.
Right.
You
You
know what I
just live
mean?
into existence.
And it says it takes you to be animalistic. You know what I mean? You're eating out of a garbage can. You're robbing your people. You're doing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you become like you have an animalistic nature to you.
Right.
And I learned a long time ago when I first got in the program, and I stopped using that. Listen, if I don't set the standard for myself and go, nah, bro, that's not acceptable
Right.
for you. Nah, bro, you don't belong over there.
That's not where you're
Nah,
supposed to
bro, you
be
gotta
at.
stay away
Yeah,
from
man.
these people. Nah, bro, why would you do that? Do you know what I mean? Like, if I don't do that, like, there's nobody that's gonna do it for me. So I live my life day by day, holding
Yeah.
myself to a standard, bro.
Right.
Like, I can't come in and have my son look at me like, damn, dad, you did that shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he knows my past. We've had this conversation,
Yeah.
because he's getting older now. But I can't have my son look at me and go, "Damn, dad, why you just do that?" Or you know what I mean? Like get out and start fist fighting and doing all. Like you said, I'm 44. I ain't got much of a
Yeah.
run left in me anyway. You know what I
Bro,
mean? Like
no, we're not doing no more, none of that shit.
no, I'm talking about even
Yeah,
fighting.
man.
I ain't,
Nah,
there ain't a lot left in that tank either.
bro, that's the hard. Sometimes it's just hard not to punch a motherfucker in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta restrain yourself. I really had a situation earlier where I had to restrain myself, get out of there, because I wasn't thinking about the long run. In the long run, I would lose even if I won. So I had to, you know what I'm saying? I walked away, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you win the fight but lose
Once
the
I cooled
war.
down, I was like, all right, it is what it is. I got life goes on, you know what I'm saying? I gotta think of what's my next move. What's the next play? You can't sit. That's another thing that'll keep you sick. You keep trying to do the same thing over and over. Nah. If I fuck up one way, I try it another way. You know what
Right,
I'm
well,
saying?
that's what you're supposed to do.
I don't you can't sit up here and tell me that I'm not trying, I'm not fighting. Because I don't need you to, because I know what I go through. I know what my daily struggle is. I know what the people around me go through, you know what I'm saying? And I know it's hard to talk about that shit. That's why I only talk to other addicts for shit.
Yeah, well,
Like you
listen,
can't.
when you're doing something, anything worthwhile doing, right? And you're
Facts.
embarking on this adventure now, right? And I'm with you. when you're doing anything, the biggest thing, like I said earlier, is not to quit. Yo, you got to go back to the lab 1,000 times. Yo, let me tweak this.
Yeah.
Let me tweak this. Nah, that didn't work. Nah, listen,
It's
this thumbnail didn't work. This, yo, because I watch these videos on people too, because my son's a YouTube nut.
yeah.
And like I watch what they talk about. Like I watched the guy, Mr. Beast, what he talked about. And he's like, it was this, and then I did this, and then I did this. Like, talking to all these different people or watching these videos or speaking to somebody that I know is, successful. The thing is for you and for me, like, if I want to be successful, I need to surround myself with successful people. You hang around with 4 losers, you're going to be the 5th.
Yeah.
You hang around with 4 winners, you're going to be the 5th. You hang around with 4 millionaires. That's why I'm over here trying to talk to these people. Listen, if I'm the smartest person in the room, the
I
room's
don't want to be
fucked
in
up.
that room. Yeah,
The room's fucked up.
bunch of dummies. Fuck, I
Yeah.
want to be in.
So I need to be somewhere where I'm consistently learning. I need to pick your brain. How did you get here? Where did you get? That's what it boils down
Yeah,
to. But
show me how you did
you
this.
gotta keep.
Yeah, show me how you did it. Don't tell me. Show me.
Yeah, but you're gonna keep making mistakes along the way. And that's okay. That's all right, bro. Listen, yo, even in literature, it says only requirement is the desire to stop using.
Yeah.
It doesn't say you get a 2-3 strike rule. This girl just shared the other night. She said there is no 3 strike rule in here. She said, and thank God, because I wouldn't have had
Right.
10 years now had there been a 3rd strike
Shots.
rule.
I'd have been.
So that's the thing. Like, it's just a desire. And listen, sometimes it's tough because you got to let people love you until you love yourself.
Yeah. I ain't big on that shit no more. Like, cause I be feeling like the only way you let people in is through your emotions. So with me right now, I'm trying to be emotionless until I can really, really get better, bro. Because like when you deal with emotions, first of all, you don't want to deal with emotions as a man anyway. You're like, wear your heart on your sleeve.
Talking to another man's very fucking difficult.
And it's like even talking to a chick, you're like, yo, you trying to address something, or you trying to.
Well,
It's not gonna affect the way I address it, but it's just like you feeling some kind of way. Like, how are they gonna take it? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't know how to take me. A lot of people don't know how to take you. I see when you post and they'll get underneath your post with a dumbass. What the fuck is you even commenting that for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see. So, yes, I saw that the other day, and it's like, bro, that was
Nothing to do with my
completely
addiction,
irrelevant.
bro. Yeah.
Like to what the fuck I'm talking about right now. But listen, this is what I learned. If you're doing good, people are gonna try to ride your coattail
Facts,
too,
every
and that's
time.
okay.
Every
Listen,
time.
but it's good though, because that means you got people behind you creating noise. So if I got 20 people behind me creating noise, like even if the noise is bad, like, oh, this motherfucker thinks he's this, thinks he's that. Yo, why is my name in your mouth though? I don't even
talking about me for.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's another thing that I learned with this whole media area is that any publicity is good publicity. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't do stuff to get bad publicity, but having a past and people knowing who you are from 20 years ago, they go, I got people, he's the biggest piece of shit, and da-da-da. And it's like, okay, listen, I'm not going to eat at your house, though. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not worried about that. But the funniest part is when I got kicked out of Catholic school, 3 weeks ago,
the teacher, you get kicked out of Catholic school, nigga?
I shot a girl in the eye with a piece of chalk, and she had a glass eye. It was crazy. But the teacher that was like, I don't want him here no more, called me and asked me to do an estimate on her house for a roof and siding. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just did the police chief of Glen Olden's roof. I did the old senator for PA. I did his roof out in Chad's Ford. Like, I feel like God puts me in the position because he knows I'm going to work. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to do the next right thing. Like, I'm not here to take advantage of the. I don't want you to give me shit.
Right.
Don't give me nothing. I don't want it. I don't like it like that. Let me struggle. Let me go through it. Let me get stronger. Yeah. Because when I get to that other side, you ain't going to fucking stop me.
Right.
It's too late. I'm already here now.
Ain't no doubt about it, bro. Like, and they'll try to roadblock you, though. You already know. With me, it's I mean, it's a consistent theme in my life. Like once people act like they happy to see you doing good, but at the end of the day, they not. They really just want to be in your way. Like a motherfucker. Like if we not helping each other grow, or like you not conducive to my recovery, what the fuck am I with you for? And I'm talking about friendships and relationships. Like, bro,
Absolutely.
if we not trying to get this money real quick, like I'm cool. That's why me and my guys right now, we all on the same page.
Yeah, so that I went through that a couple months ago, and my whole thing is this, like, if you ain't feeding me spiritually, mentally, or physically, I don't really need you
Fuck
around
outta
me like
there.
that. Now, I'm not saying that my love is like
Conditional.
like a conditional,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's got to be beneficial. But what I'm saying is if you're known to bring chaos, if you know that a bunch of things around you are nothing more than a problem, listen, bro, keep it. Say, listen, I'll say what's up to you, but
Unadulterated.
I keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? I have a lot of friends that I grew up with that are still, whether they're using or they might not even, but they sit in the bar all the time. Like, yo, listen, yo, you're still my boy, but listen, we're on a different mission, man. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I love you to death, man, because these dudes raised me.
Yeah.
Because my grandparents were old. But listen, I got to do what I got to do, because I have some people counting on me.
Yeah.
Like, I got to win for my kids. I'm not trying to build. It's funny, right before it started, I'm not trying to be a thousandaire. I'm trying to be a millionaire.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And that's not, look, people mistake that. I had somebody say, you're real, this girl said, you're real, not superficial, but materialistic.
Yeah.
She goes, you're materialistic. I go,
Yeah.
why am I materialistic? She said, well, you're always talking about a pair of Jordans or getting the
How them
truck
feel?
painted. And I
Pair of
go,
shoes.
listen, I work hard for what I
Yeah.
get, though. I said, and look, that's
How's a
what
pair of
I
shoes
enjoy.
materialistic though? That's what I'm saying about people. Like, don't
Well, so listen, it's because, like Nas says,
Yeah.
it's the differences in people that make people feel inferior. So they start disliking people. It's just like, it's, you take me and you, for instance. I'm white, you're black. We don't look at each other like that.
Yeah, nah,
But
my
people
brother.
look at that. Other people see that and use that as a like
Yeah,
it's a difference, bro. And they, but we don't look at like it
I
that.
mean, like that's and if you still like that in 2024,
I know you're an
yeah,
idiot,
yeah.
but yeah, you're a
Take care of
fucking
that,
idiot.
bro. Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm like. But that's where the belief comes in, because when it says in there, it says in every book of God. So I don't care what you are.
right.
It says he made Adam from different parts of clay. Well, when you go around the earth and you dig up the clay, and this is scientific fact, you find black clay, white clay, yellow clay, orange clay, red clay. Oh, you find every color. So hold on. So we all came from these two people. Why are we fighting so much? You know what I mean? I do this
I
with
don't
my
get into
brothers
that
all
shit.
the
My
time.
kids was mixed, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, so I
Yeah.
keep that shit over there. Like,
But I'm just saying, like, people will use anything to strike a difference between each other.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even drug addicts. Like, I remember I used to be like, man, that dude's a fucking crackhead. I don't smoke crack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm sticking a needle in my arm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's, you use things to separate yourself, like you're better than or less than. And that's what we do a lot. But, I don't do that no more.
Nah. I used to do it too. I remember the first time when I started using this shit, and I remember like, damn, I used to talk about them type of motherfuckers. Now I'm, you know what I'm saying, look at me now. That's a humbling experience right there. That whole it's just a humbling experience. That shit will sit you down. Like, it'll shut you down, like mentally, emotionally. That shit had you going through something, realizing that you turned into something you ain't want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I just said that to someone the other night.
Yeah.
I go, yo, you think my aspirations was to become a junkie? I said, you think when I started smoking marijuana and smoking pot when I was fucking 9, that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot dope one day? No, I remember actually saying, yo, I'll never try coke.
Right.
And then by 10, I'm trying coke.
Right.
And I'm like, I never smoked crack. And by 11, I'm smoking crack by the bridge in Sharon Hill.
Yeah,
in blunts.
Let's how about
Do you know
that,
what I'm
bro?
saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's always the I nevers that come true. And this
Right.
is what I'm trying to reiterate to this certain person.
Uh-huh.
You say you would never do this, but now you're doing this. So when you start to indulge in all these different things, you lose your morals and your values and your compass.
Right.
So things that weren't acceptable are now acceptable to you. That's just like that video I put up. They say you don't have to accept unacceptable behavior. That means from yourself too. You need to police yourself and go, yo, wait a minute, man.
Yeah,
You know you shouldn't be doing this. You know you're better than this. You know you weren't made for this. And that's just how I live
square
my life,
biz.
man, every day.
Facts. I hear that. I like that. Because at the end of the day, like, it's, man, I ain't gonna hold you. Even at this age right here, I'm still fucking struggling with the discipline and the to just be mentally strong enough to stop doing the nuts shit I be doing. You know what I'm saying? So, like you say, it's a growing experience. But like, I'm just, I just use this phrase a lot. I'm just trying to keep evolving, dog.
Yeah.
Like, people's opinion of you don't matter. Like, you're going to stay where you at if you worried about what somebody, and if they're doing better than you or they're not, it don't matter, bro.
Let me ask you a question.
What up?
Has any of them ever paid your bill?
Fuck no. Like, so it's not like, yeah, like,
Do you
it's
know what
not,
I'm saying? So that's what I mean
yeah.
when you're saying like their opinion don't matter. You're right.
It
Because
don't.
listen, at the end of the day, no one is coming to rescue you. No one's coming to save you.
Oh,
You
shit.
are your
You
backup
Oreo.
plan.
Fuck
I
you
am
mean?
my backup plan. There is, I have people that say, yeah, because you get a lot of that too. Yeah, we're rooting for you. Listen, you say that
Bro, you
now,
think I give a fuck
but
about
listen,
that shit? I already know
no,
what that's
I'm
hitting
just
for,
saying,
bro.
but you know
You know
how
me
it
for too
goes.
long.
So like other people's opinions shouldn't matter because at the end of the day, they're not paying Pico, Aqua, your
Yeah.
cable bill. They're not putting food on the table. They're not, listen,
And nobody acknowledges, certain people don't realize, like, they're only important if they're talking about another person. That you know what I'm saying? Like, that you can't be talking crazy about somebody and only because you mad at the position or the lane they in. Like, you gotta focus on you. So I can't focus on that because, like, my addiction is telling me one thing, they telling me another thing, my brain telling me another thing. So I gotta really fight through it. I don't give a fuck about nothing but me. Like, I really gotta be selfish right now because I'm you know what I'm saying? I feel like and I don't wanna go backwards, bro. Like, if I do, like, pray and all that shit, I really, like, I'm so serious with God right now. You know what I'm saying, Pete? Like, don't nobody understand how serious I am because, like, yo, he the only one. When I pray, like, all right, I'm cool. Because, like, now it's like, take your meds, dog.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Do what you're supposed to do. Like, and I'm not saying that I always do what I'm supposed to do.
So I got a phone call from upstate the other
Yeah.
day, and I had to sit it on the bed. I'm like, yo, hold up, I gotta finish praying. So I get on the phone, and my boy Pete goes, yo, you still pray? And I'm like, I pray 5 times a
Fucking
day,
right.
man. What are you, crazy? I said, listen, man. I said, for all the things that I made it through, for all the robberies and how many times I've been stuck up in Philly, like for all of that, you think I shouldn't be thankful?
Right. When
There
you got
ain't
everything to be
there
thankful
there
for.
there ain't one day that goes by that I ain't, and I'll ride in my truck sometimes because I still can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like there's times when I'll be riding like a long estimate over down the Wildwood or something, and I'll start to tear up. Cause like you said, it started with a pancake compressor and a bum
Shit.
ass
I remember
truck.
that shit like it was yesterday.
Do you know what I mean? And I've
Yeah.
been blessed. And that's why, like, a lot of people are like, yo, you do too much for people. And I'm like, why wouldn't I? Because the more I do, the more I get. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. The more I help people, the more that, listen, and they might be taking advantage of me. That's fine.
Yeah.
But my intentions are pure. So I'm not worried about
You
that.
can't be.
Nah, I think, listen, I have to help people. That's what I like to do.
Nah, like I said, I'm one of them people, you know what I'm saying? I don't count favors and shit, but like I know when I was just every time I'm in rehab, you know what I'm saying, I pick the phone up like, look, you know what I'm saying? I burnt everybody out. I need this, this, that, and the third, and it's there, you know what I'm saying? Even though we're not supposed to get cash apps where, you know what I'm saying, but you still send the bread so I can get cigarettes and whatever I need.
Listen, I'm always gonna try.
You always been 100 with me, bro. So that's why I always try to keep it funky with you. I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to find out how I could be better without doing too much, man.
Well, you said it. You're always trying to evolve, and
Always
that's the
trying to
point.
evolve, man.
So us as not just addicts, but as people in general,
Yeah.
we should constantly be striving to get to a better area in our life.
Right.
And it's not just where you live, it's not a car you drive, it's not any of that. It's internal.
Right.
And like you said, the longer you stay and the more work you do on you, the bigger the tree gets.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you're growing. They say don't go through it, grow through it. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of times, we had this discussion, us as addicts love pain. So us as addicts, we'll be in pain and then we'll find something to give us more pain on top of the
Yeah.
pain.
You
Like
just
we'll deepen the
add
pain, right? Because that's how we know how to identify things. But over all these years, I know a lot of the times, like even with my mom leaving me, you know, I thought it was anger, but I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like how you leave your kid at 3 months old, man. You're my mom. So until I dealt with that, I mean, I don't know if I dealt with it, but I forgave her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's
No, I feel you. I went through the same thing with my father, so I definitely feel you. Like you gotta let it go. You just gotta
Yeah.
let go of what's holding on to that shit. Even now, like the one thing about me is like I haven't grieved yet over my mom, so it's like, damn, like I gotta learn how to deal with them emotions and them feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I know my brothers and sisters or my nieces and nephews, everybody feel the same way. But you know, I gotta be strong for me right now before I can be strong for anybody else. Seriously, like it's not even like optional. Like that's how it has to
Well,
be.
how do you save other people if your ship is sinking?
Man, you can't.
So you
You
gotta
can't.
you
I
gotta
gotta.
work on your
That's
ship,
what I'm
bro.
saying. I can't. Like I'm not.
Especially
Yeah, I'm
early in
not.
recovery. Listen,
Yeah.
and this is the one thing. Early in recovery and early in to stop using drugs, because drugs is really just a symptom of how fucked up we really are. That's just something we did because we didn't feel like ourselves
Yeah.
or we wanted to hide something. So, but early on, that's why it's recommended to not be in a relationship, not make major life decisions,
Right.
because you're not, people don't understand, like while you're using, you're not growing. I started using so young. When I got clean, I was a fucking 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, they said, I was in rehab. Them motherfuckers was like 14. They said like, you stunt your growth, so you like coming out as the brain
Yeah,
of a 14-year-old
maturity.
teenager.
It's maturity level. Our maturity level stops
Man, that
when
shit
we start
crazy.
using,
That's
and
crazy.
even now, listen, even now, with all the time clean, I still find myself racking my brain with certain things, revisiting certain pain. But like I said outside, I pull myself out and I go, yo, bro, come on, dog.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, this avenue that you're on, what the outcome's going to be. Like, yo, just let it go. Let it, because it's not worth your time. It's not
That's
worth it.
big. That is big. But to be able to let it go is even bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
takes a lot for you to let something as serious as that go. Like you just gotta let it go, like you said though, man. Because sometimes
Listen,
being alone is the best thing for you.
and
Real
and
shit.
and listen. So, what is the point of being in the middle of something that does nothing but cause strife between you and someone else?
No.
This, it doesn't make sense, right? So, if somebody told me the other day, they go, yo, listen, relationships are all work,
Right.
whether it's friendship, whatever kind of ship it is,
It's work.
relationship with
You gotta
a
work on it.
female. When you got one person doing 100 and the other person doing none, it's not going to work. So no matter how bad I want something to work out,
Right.
whether it's with a friend or with a business deal, listen, if it's not reciprocated on their end, I got a brother, his name's Hafiz.
Uh,
I love you, Hafiz. He's in Atlanta now, but
right.
um, me and him used to sit on the yard fence, and he used to always say the word reciprocity to me.
Reciprocity,
And
yeah.
I'm like, we used to do these little study things, and you know, and I was like, I wanted to learn more about reciprocity. Like, what
Uh,
is that? And he's like, listen, you got to understand something. If you're in a relationship, you know, you should reciprocate the kind of love that you're getting.
if they giving you love, you should be sending that love back.
Right.
In
But if
fact.
they're not, then you should probably vacate the premises, right?
Yeah, man. Like, ain't no need to hold on to that, man.
No, and
Like, you
it's
gotta let that
tough.
shit go. It's tough. It's the hardest. It might be the hardest thing you have to go through, but sometimes it's the best thing you can do.
My aunt, it took 5 years of me being clean before my aunt stopped asking my kids, Mom, you think he's gonna get high? You think he's gonna get high? So when all this went down, a couple years ago, my aunt looked at me and I go, I was homeless in Kensington. I said, this ain't shit. But like this ain't. I did a year in CFCF on but like I can handle this. I'll be okay. And some days you got to learn that being okay is just a good thing.
Yes.
You know
Even
what I
if
mean?
that's the only thing that's okay.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
like just be okay.
be all right, bro.
I'm all right right now.
Yeah.
And that'll get you by, because then that moment will subside, it'll pass, and then it'll be back to the grind. You just can't sit in it too long. Do you know what I mean? Because sitting
You
in
don't
it
want
too
to. You don't
long,
want to be stagnant. You don't
No.
want to sit there. You don't want to let shit fester. You just, and that's what I had. That was one of my hardest problems too. Like I couldn't let shit go. But that's going to keep you in a situation you ain't supposed to be in. And like that's not something that's healthy for you or whatever. Whatever the relationship is. It's just not healthy. So you can't, if you're not uplifting the other person or uplifting the people around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you should be around them people. I don't think that's why, like, right now I'm just cool with my team. You know what I'm saying? We doing what we doing, whether it's clothes or music or whatever's going on. And that's what I'm focused on. Like, I'm focused on the bigger picture. Like, because it's easy to win by yourself, but it's easier to win as a team.
It's easier
It's
to
way
win as a
easier.
team, because let me tell you something.
Way
I just
easier.
watched the video earlier, and the guy said, don't buy the bullshit that you can do it by yourself. He said, it's you versus teams. So all these people are coming in with a team.
Yes,
Now, whatever you're gonna do,
like,
I don't care if it's roofing. I don't care if it's this. I don't care if it's fucking opening a clothing store.
Yeah.
Like, you need a tight group of people that are on the same mission as you, because that's how you're gonna win.
Do you still go to meetings?
I do.
All right.
Yep, I go at least twice a week. I go Saturday and Sunday night, and for a while. Listen, so that's another thing. I stopped going for a while.
Yeah,
I had
that.
I had a 10 to 12 year where I didn't go to a meeting, and you know what? That's dangerous. And me and my old sponsor had this conversation, and it's dangerous. And listen, me going to a meeting just ain't about me no more.
Yeah.
Because when I raise my hand and I go, yeah, I got 19 years clean, there's somebody there listening. Do you know what I'm saying? And be like, oh, if he did it, I can do it. And that's the gist.
Even one day, bro.
Right. It's a miracle.
Just get that day, man.
It's a miracle, especially when you're stuck out here like that.
Like you said, living up Kensington, I'm glad I never had to live up there, bro. Seriously. But we come to the end of the show. I'm going to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank Peter Oreo for coming on, sharing his strength and inspiration with me and with the rest of y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.